welcome to the Schola Progenium. Today you join us for an exciting battle report. We're having our first ever game of Achtung Panzer. So that's right, chaps. Today you join us for our first ever outing with Achtung Panzer, and we're very excited. Now we've got a little bit of a plan for the day. What we're going to do is we're going to have our first clash between Will and JP's forces. JP running the Soviets and Will with the Germans. Now they're going to be having clashing over the course of the day. The winner of this first duel, we're going to follow that commander and upgrade him over 2 further battles as we fight back and forth for control of this industrial area of this sort of Soviet town, on the edge of a town maybe. So our idea here is that because the game's so dynamic and rapid, the first match is just really not a full game, if that makes sense. It's just the first phase of a game.
A campaign within a game.
Yeah, a campaign within a game. So there's sort of several phases to one game as you duke it out, fix your tanks, upgrade your crews as they gain experience, and even quirks. So you can have their little habits that they get into, which can give advantages and disadvantages. It's going to be really cool. So starting off, we've got a Panther D class. We're playing 30 points to start off with. Now, Will's gone for a high overall crew caliber here. So he's going to get a decent amount of stars, hopefully, if he gets lucky on his D6, to kit out his crew. Now, JP's gone for a different angle, classic Soviets. And he's gone for 1 low T-34-76 and 1 medium caliber T-34-76. So his crew are going to be suffering on those crew checks, maybe less able to quickly load ammunition into the chamber and breach and that kind of thing. Whereas Will hopefully will have a bit more sort of technique and be able to push his tank to the limits to hopefully take on and win 2 versus 1 in this initial clash. So selecting your tanks is only the first stage. Then you've got to generate the experience levels of your crew. So Will, you've got a high caliber tank here. So you need to roll 1d6 for your Panther. Okay. And you get a 6, which is excellent. You're going to get 9 crew points to spend. That essentially means you're going to be able to take a veteran commander, a veteran gunner, and a veteran driver. They're going to be passing skill checks on, I believe, 2 ups throughout the game. That is a very lucky first roll. First dice of Achtung Panzer is a 6. Good start. So tank designation Bravo over here. He's the medium sort of caliber tank, isn't he? Yeah. So you need to roll a d6, JP, to see what you get. And he gets a 4, not too bad. With a medium, that's 6 crew points. Okay. So you're going to be able to, you could spread all trained level, all moderate, or you could have 1 veteran, 1 inexperienced, and so on and so forth. Right, so you need to roll for your Charlie tank.
So these are the inexperienced ones.
And he has a 5, that's okay. 5 on inexperience gives you 4 crew points. So probably going to have a couple of untrained guys straight off the farms. Right, okay, so we'll get back once we've decided what crews we're taking. So now the boys have chosen their veterancy of their crews. Now, Will's very easy, he got 9 points, so he could go 3-star crew all the way. So he's going to be passing order checks on 2 ups, and every single one of these crew members has a bonus. So the driver gets +1 to his hull down, so he's going to be much harder to damage, especially in the running gear, so harder to immobilize. The veteran gunner is going to get reroll 1s when he's shooting, which is great. And the commander gets extra cards. He gets to draw extra cards. He gets bonuses to hull radio checks. Not that that matters, just with 1 tank. Now the Soviets, the Bravo tank has got an inexperienced farm boy as a driver, just 1 star, untrained. He's got a trained gunner and a veteran commander. and the Charlie tank has got an inexperienced driver, an untrained gunner, and fortunately a trained commander. He has gone to tank school for a couple of weeks at least. Now, they all come with a free smoke grenade. If you've got a veteran commander on your tank, you get to roll a dice on a 4-up, you get an extra smoke grenade. So, Will, do you want to roll the 4-up?
I'll roll the 4-up.
So no extra smoke grenade on your tank, and then you've got one veteran as well, and no extra smoke grenade for you. So now we got to do specialist ammunition. The boys are going to roll for their specialist ammunition. Now, depending on the time period of the war and the commanders you've got available to you, they might be able to pull a certain amount of strings, and there might just not be that much high quality ammunition available. Now, because we're playing late 1944, Will gets D6 minus 2 special ammunition tokens, although the max he can actually take is 2, because it's a max of 2 per tank. So do you want to roll a D6 now? If you have an ace commander, if you upgrade to ace, and you get better rolls on this. So you get 1 specialist round, spend it wisely. And now, JP, you just get flat D6. The Soviets, fine industrially at this point in the war. So you've got 3, that's it. So you can put 2 on one and 1 on another. So finally, the boys get to decide asset cards. Now, they've no ace commanders, so they just get to roll a D6 plus 1, and that's the amount of asset stars they get. So, Will, if you want to roll D6 plus 1, this is because they've got 3 tanks. He only gets 2 points worth of assets. Not popular with commands this time, Commander.
Come on, Soviets.
No! So he only gets 2 as well. So they're going to have to choose wisely. There's not going to be much more artillery. It's going to be a cheeky sniper, maybe some infantry dotted around. So now the boys are all set up, ready to go. Because they both have a veteran commander, they both get to draw 5 event cards each turn. And they can discard those at the end of the turn and cycle them if they don't want to play them. Now, we're all set up and ready to go. Will's got the deployed first and JP deployed second. JP's set up in the forest, so he will have to do an initial driver check to drive out of that, but he can clear the way with his trained tank, and then the untrained tank can just follow in his tracks. Nice little part of the rules there. And then the Panther is just lurking, hidden behind this bit of line of sight blocking terrain. It is true line of sight this game, so if you can see not just the gun or radio antenna, but if you can see part of the hull or turret, then you can see that tank and shoot it. Although sometimes there are penalties for you get 1 less dice for shooting through cover, basically. So we're all set up, ready to go. Now the boys just need to draw tokens. Now you need to pass a radio check, JP. Mm-hmm. So roll a dice, and we'll see if you pass your radio check. And you do. So you will get to see the number on the initiative tokens when we draw them. And then, Will, you need to do the same. No, both, you're absolutely fine. Now, you've only got 1, so it doesn't matter. You're only activating in 1 order, so we don't really need to. Boys, I've got 3 tokens here. JP, if you want to pull first, just pick one. You can look at it. You get 1, and then JP, you get the other 1. Okay, right, so have a look at your tokens, boys, and then place them by your tank. As the duel begins, we're just going to take a quick look at the time tracker. Now, this one, we'll explain it as we go, but essentially at the end of the turn, taking it in turns with Will going first, the players get to roll either 1 or 2 d6 and choose the amount of time that passes. Now, the game continues for 16 minutes. We're playing this first game, so you might want to delay the time and make it go longer if you're waiting for reserves potentially, or you might want to speed the game along if you think you're about to get knocked out and take a higher sort of number of minutes. But we'll see what happens as we get with that. Now it's time to place orders. So the boys are essentially going to place a little movement tokens, these ones here, face down so the players don't know what each other's going to do. And then essentially you have 3 actions per tank, so they get to do a move and then another action, potentially a free spot if you're unbuttoned. Will is unbuttoned, so he'll get to do a commander check to see if he gets a free spot, and then potentially do another action such as load or aim. the gun. If you can see someone, JP doesn't get to do free spotting because he is buttoned down, hiding away in his hull. That is traditionally what the Soviets did, so fair enough. So he will be using more action, so they'll get 1 action each as they go, and then we'll do that 3 times, and then we'll roll to see how much time elapses at the end of those 3 activations. So without much further ado, boys, pick your orders, put them by your tanks, and then we'll flip initiative tokens and see who's going first. Boys have placed their movement orders for the first activation, and now it's time to flip initiative. So let's see what order the Soviets tanks are going in. So he's got the first token there. He's got first activation, and very interesting, first and third, and the Germans going second. So JP, what is the movement order you've given your Soviet?
To drive forward and clear the forest.
Drive forward and clear the forest. Now, because he's driving through a little bit of rough terrain here, he'll need to pass an order check with his driver, or he'll come to a halt and not be able to activate, and not be able to do a following action. So he does fail that. Now, because he's failed it, he has to roll an additional dice. It's a good job you got the 1 then. If you get another 1 now, you'll suffer a calamity. Oh, no, JP. Oh, no. Right, we'll be back in a sec. Because you can choose to do your tactical order before your movement order, you get 2 little orders every activation. JP decided to load his special ammunition. So shouted to the loader, get a special round ready. He didn't want to force load it with an order check because that can cause calamities. But he is now locked in place. If he'd not done that first, he'd be he wouldn't be able to actually do an action. However, because he rolled a calamity, he's actually taken damage to his running gear, where Will wants to start aiming. If he takes an aim order, you can also roll a dice to see if you aim high or low, and that lets you, to a degree, pick what damage you do against that tank. So very interesting. Next to activate is the German tank. He's going to move 4 inches and pivot. Now he's going to have to do an order check to drive over this garden wall here. That's a bit of linear terrain. Fortunately, he's a veteran driver, so he needs to pass a 2-up.
Oh, 2-up, let's go.
So you can avoid it. Yeah, he's done that absolutely fine. Will's commander is looking outside of the cupola. He's got the hatch open. He can now attempt to do a spot action for free instead of using it as his actual tactical action. So he's passed an order check, but on a 2-up because he's veteran. And he does do it, so that spot's for free. That means now he can load some ammunition, or he can order the gunner to aim.
I will load special ammunition.
Special ammunition. Now, a further point is, because he's giving this order, he can give a forced load. And if he passes an order check on a 2-up, that ammunition, the load is just, he's quick as lightning, and he slams that round straight into the ready slot so you can fire with your next activation.
I'll do that then.
Okay, if you fail and get a calamity, you could jam your gun.
It's okay. Let's go.
He's passed it. Okay, that's awesome. So they're like a well-oiled machine. The crew are just like their vehicle. Yeah, and he just slams was it a special round?
Yeah, special.
Just straight into the ready slot. If he aims and shoots, he's going to hopefully do some real damage here. Finally, it's the inexperienced, untrained tank crew, the low caliber, as we call it in the business. Now, he's doing his action before he moves. Therefore, if he fails the move, he's not stuck where he is, missing out. He's not going for a force load, so he can just load a round of AP, did you say?
AP.
So the loader's got it in his hands. Okay, so...
And then we're going to give him the turn activation.
Turn order, so you can move and turn your choice.
And then he's going to see if he can go over the terrain himself.
Oh no. And yes, you do pass that crew order on a 4-up, so he can drive up to 4 inches and a pivot with a turn. All the tanks have activated, we go to the second action phase. And again, this time it's straight up with JP's tank here. As we can see, blocked off this tank, so they need to place orders. So first up is the medium caliber tank. So flip your token, JP, and then you can do tactical action first if you like. So you've got a right turn, so you can move up to 4 inches and pivot, or pivot to move up to 4 inches, any order. Now, what you're going to do your action first. What are you going to do? Try and load.
Try and
ready your round. Specialist round is one of the two that the tank's carrying, is now in the breach and ready to go. Okay, now you get your movement order. You've got to pass an order check here. His gunner is, his driver, sorry, is
4 up.
it's a 4 up. Oh my gosh, man. And he makes it. Okay, you can get out of the terrain finally.
He's going to pivot and then move us forward through the terrain.
Okay, just using the less experienced tank commander as a bit of cover there. Now we move on to the Panther.
Well, actually, no. I'm going to use an event card.
Excellent. Okay, that's cool.
Okay, I'm going to use reinforcements.
So he has a reinforcements card. That allows him to ready his off-battle assets. And what have you selected? He selected Tank Hunters. An anti-tank rocket from a Panzer hurtles towards enemy armour. Effect: resolve an attack on an enemy tank within 6 inches of an uncleared ambush terrain. You roll 3 dice needing a 6, and it's got a pen of 5. Okay, and you've got some ambush terrain that's uncleared right here on the side of the tank. That's nice. Okay, so roll 3 dice, Will, and see if you get a 6.
Come on, baby. Panzerfaust.
And he does get a 6. Okay, so penetration value of 5. We'll be back in a second. Before we roll to damage, Will needs to see the location of the hit. 1 to 2 is the running gear, 3 to 4 the hull, 5 to 6 the turret. And he's got the turret in the side. So the side armour of the turret is a 7. So he's going to roll a dice and add the pen of the Panzer on the card, which is 5. Which is 5. Okay, so he needs to add this now. If he gets 4 or more above the armour, he's going to knock that tank out immediately. Just light it up. So he's rolled a 2. So 2 plus 5 makes 7. That is a glance on the side armour of the turret. Now, interestingly, if you'd turned your turret to face him, the back is the same as the side. But I'm just saying, if you turned your turret to face this here, even though your sidearm would be on, because he hit the turret, it would hit the front of the turret. Yeah. So you have 2 facings, both your turret and your chassis, which is interesting. So it's a glance. Let's find out what happens. Now, although Will's not done a penetrating hit, so he can't do any more like damage from the penetration, potentially light up the ammunition or something like that. Because he's taken a damage to the turret, he now gets to roll the dice, and on a 3 up, he gets a sort of bonus effect. And he does get that bonus effect, so we'll roll it on the table. A 1 to 2 is nothing, a 3 to 4 is the crew, and a 5 or 6, which Will got, is that he's damaged the hardware. So now he rolls an additional effect. And he's got a 2 there. Now a 2 is that he's shredded the exhaust. So what happens when you shred the exhaust is that a round shreds the tank's exhaust systems, causing the engines to stall. A thick and rolling cloud of engine smoke settles around the stationary vehicle. As per stalled, but in addition you place a smoke marker on the tank, so you're now actually harder to hit, but you're minus to shoot as well. Now when you're stalled, you cannot perform any more actions for this phase. Well, you've already been, so that's okay. So overall, he's gained some smoke there, but because he's already activated, there's no additional effect because it's only stalled out the engine and he's active. He's activated an event card support team from this bit of terrain. Essentially, the Panzer team, they shoot and scoot, they dash off, and this bit of terrain counts as cleared, although certain event cards can make it dangerous again. Now it's Will's actual turn, so he's going to do his order and his move in any sort of sequence that he likes. So you're going to do your order first or a move? Or we'll reveal what you're doing anyway.
Yeah, so the move is a halt.
A halt. So you're staying still. And then what are you going to do? So you're already...
I'm going to aim.
You're going to do an aim order. Right, so you aim with your commander, and that flips the token. So now you'll be shooting with 3 dice next time you activate. Final tank of phase 2 is the untrained or low caliber T-34. Now he's gone for a drive forward order. That means he gets to move his full movement instead of a 4 and a twist, and he's a speed of 8 inches. Now would you like to try for a free pivot at the end by passing an order check on the driver?
I will do, and then I will also load ready the shell.
You're going to ready the shell.
Yeah.
That's going to be your order. So you're readying first.
So readying first.
Gonna do bad day.
Oh, he's playing another card. Play when your opponent passes a crew test.
Oh, when he passes.
He's got to pass it.
Well, oh, sorry, he's got to roll it first, yeah. Oh, well.
So he does pass it, so he's having a bad day. Your opponent must re-roll the crew test and the second result stands.
Okay.
No!
Roll load and the shell.
You don't need to because that's just your normal action.
Okay.
Unless you want, you don't need to force load.
It's
Already in his hands. So your action is to just ready your shell. It's in the breach. Although he has got a movement of 8, he comes to a stop as soon as he gets to the terrain. He could move into it, but he'd have to pass another crew order check.
I'll play Fog of War as well.
Play at any time, place a smoke marker on any friendly or enemy tank. Now, the way smoke works, guys, is that essentially it's a penalty to shoot, but it's also a penalty to be shot at. So it's the same negative. You know, you can. This guy is harder to hit as well as shooting.
I'll put the smoke onto the Panther.
You're going to put the smoke onto the Panther, so he suffers a penalty to his shooting.
Yeah.
Now, it's not cumulative, so he won't lose 2 dice for shooting at the this tank which he's spotted. Oh, it's this tank that is. Oh, whoa! He's run behind cover. Now, are you out of line of sight there, Will? Because if you move out, if he moves fully out of line of sight, your aim is reduced down to a spotted automatically.
I don't think you can see him.
Any part of the turret.
You can see through the window.
Unfortunately, this tree is blocking the line of sight to this window here, so that automatically flips the aimed token back down to spotted. He's dashed out of the way. We move on to the 3rd activation phase for this first turn. So remove and place your movement orders. So order 1 for tank Alpha, or this is tank Bravo, isn't it?
It is. He's going to left turn.
Left turn, so he can do a pivot and 4 inches, or 4 inches and a pivot. He's going for his pivot. He's driving 4 inches. Now at this point, once you've done your move, you can turn your turret facing if you so wish. And can you draw line of sight to his vehicle? You can see him, but you will shoot at a -1 dice. Do you want to aim? What's your order going to be?
I haven't spotted him yet. How do I spot him?
No, so you can spot him. That's your order, and because you're not out of your hatch, that's your whole order. You don't get to roll to do another one.
Yeah.
So that's your action.
Spot him.
So he's moved and spotted. First move. Now, as soon as you activate a tank, the smoke does clear unless it's a halt, in which case it only clears on a 1 or a 2. Now, he's moving forward, so he's going to drive through that smoke. It dissipates. The Panther emerges from the smoke towards the T-34-76. So you're going your full, what's the movement of a Panther? It is a speed of 7. Maneuver. Will can now see the tank that he originally spotted, just the tail end of it and the running gear, and he can see this tank in the open as well. Both of them he would be shooting through a bit of terrain, so that means he'll be on -1 dice, so he'd be on a snap fire if he decides to shoot. You're going to try and re-aim, Will?
Yeah, I'll try and...
Or do you want to do a spot for free and then aim?
I'll spot at this guy instead.
So do a 2-up to see if you can do that for free. And you can. That veteran commander really coming in is worth. And then do you want to flip that? Do you want to use your action to flip that to...
Yeah, I'll aim again.
Okay, aim. So that puts him from 1 dice up to 3. You see, if you've only got 1 dice, and because he's moved and shoots, you'd go down to 0 dice. Instead, you get a snap fire. And the way snap fire works is you roll 2 dice, but you have to score a hit with both. So we'd need 2 5-ups on 2 dice. Not likely. But that Panther, with its veteran crew all the way, the commander's just snapping out orders, calling out shots. He's got a round in the chamber. So hopefully, unless JP does something, next action he's going to be popping a shot. Charlie tank with the untrained crew. They're pulling some sweet manoeuvres. He's gone for a right turn. Now, would you like to try and get a free pivot at the end of that, JP? You have to pass a crew check on a 4-up.
Yeah, might as well try it.
And he gets it. So that he's getting the hang of things, this driver. And he Tokyo drifts round that corner. Lovely. And then he can move the turret however he wishes after the movement action. Now you've got an action. So what do you want to do? Can you see him?
Can I spot him through the window?
You can definitely spot him.
I'll spot him through the window.
So you've got both tanks spotting the Panther now. So with that, we have completed turn 1, and it's a very exciting end to the turn. Both Bravo tank and Charlie tank have rounds loaded in the breech and ready to go, and they've both got they've both spotted the enemy Panther. However, if they shoot, they will lose that dice and have to go down to a snap fire. So they kind of need to aim. On the other hand, the Panther has a special round of ammunition. It's his only one, right?
Yeah.
Loaded in the breech, and he's got aimed down the barrel at this T-34. If he gets the first initiative token this time, he'll pop that shot, and there's not much JP can do about it. So, have you guys discarded? They can discard as many of their event cards as they like and draw back up to 5 because they both still have a veteran commander on the field. So, have you done your event cards?
I've done mine.
Now, as the attacker, JP gets to roll a d6 or 2d6 now to decide the number of minutes elapsed. Once we get to 16, the game will automatically end and will count up points. Then next turn it'll be Will as the defender, his turn to decide how much time elapses. So you go for 1 or 2?
I'll go for 2 because I might try and get a tank to survive here.
You feel like if the game goes on too long, you'll get knocked out.
He only has to hit 1.
So in the first part of the campaign, so it doesn't matter.
Try and get 1 crew back.
So 6 minutes pass. That gives us 10 left. I've got the initiative tokens ready in my hand. However, you want to play an action card, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to play static.
Okay.
So radios are all suddenly on the blink. Play when your opponent is about to perform radio check. Radio checks for all tanks, yours and your opponent's, are automatically failed this turn. This does not affect platoons that includes an ace commander.
Okay, so both of you are going to take the tokens and place them at random, but when you do your first order, you're not going to know what order those tanks are going to go in. So you get 1, just place it by your tank, and there you go, JP. Right, okay, that's very interesting. So you need to place your first orders, boys, and then we'll action phase 1. We've had 6 minutes pass, and it's time to flip those command tokens. So JP, flip your T-34s. Let's see what you've got. So Bravo is first. Nice. And third. Okay. That puts you at second again for the Panther. Right. So what's your first order, JP?
Okay, I'm going to play commander for teamwork.
Play when one of your tanks performs a tactical action. Your tank may perform an extra tactical action during this action phase. Nice.
So he's going to aim, fire, and reverse.
So you've given him a reverse.
Yes.
Okay. So he's got a reverse, but he's doing that. He's going for aim, fire, reverse. Okay, because you're unspotted at the moment. Okay, so the commander orders the gunner to aim. Then that lets you fire. Now, when you're aiming, you've got your special ammunition in there. That means you get the penetration value in the red brackets. Now, you're going to be over long range there, so you need a 5 up to hit, and your penetration value will be 5 up. Now, because you're aiming, you get 2 dice. You need a 5 up on 2 dice here. Will you hit with that vital AP shot? No! And the round zings past, and that ammunition is expended. He's going to have to reload now. He's reversed 4 inches, but the Panther can still see him. It doesn't break the lock.
Roll, see if I can pivot.
Roll, see if you can pivot, and he can do a free pivot. He passed a driver check there, and he's pivoting so that hopefully he's out of line of sight of that Panther now. Despite JP's manoeuvres, Bravo tank can still be seen through the ruins. It's true line of sight. However, if Will shoots through the ruins, he will lose 1 of his shooting dice. So Will's gone for a halt order on the Panther. He's playing an event card.
So I'm going to play hold.
So hold. When one of your tank fires, so he's giving his tactical action is going to be to fire. He gets to roll and order a crew check, and if he passes it, he hits the side I'll count to the side. Nice. Just bounce it off the factory and into the side armour. Interesting. Okay, so you need to roll a 2 up because you're veteran. And he does pass it. Okay. He's got his special ammo. Now, you are shooting through line of sight blocking terrain, but you haven't moved, so you only lose 1 out of your 3 dice.
So what do we need to hit now?
So you hit on 5 ups at both close and long range. You've got your special round loaded, so you'll be penning on 11s here. And JP's side armour on his, well, it depends the location you hit. So we'll have to roll to hit first, needing a 5. He gets a hit. Now, you don't get 2 hits, you only get 1. So now we need to roll for location. Now, he's not hold down or anything like that. And that's going to be on the hull. So now you need to roll against the side armour of the hull. It's a 7. Now, if you're penning on, you've got an 11 here. So you're essentially, unless you get a 1, you will automatically knock him out and you'll roll a brew up test.
Just 1d6.
If you get a 1, the max you can do is 1 damage token. But as this is Bravo tank and he's already got 2 damage tokens, you'll get a 3rd. You'll knock him out and he'll abandon the tank. He gets a 2. So 2 plus 11 makes 13. That's 4 or more over the armor value. So that tank is going to be knocked out. He's just lit him up there. Now, there is a difference between being knocked out and destroyed, and that is certainly a destroyed tank. So Will now rolls the dice on a 4, 5, or 6. It brews up, the ammunition goes off, and it's much harder for the crew to escape a fiery death. So roll your dice, Will. And he doesn't brew it up. So although he's entirely knocked that tank out, JP's crew have a much better chance of escaping. So with 1 T-34-76 burning, it's now time for the untrained crew to advance. Now, he's had a move forward order. He's moved forward 4 inches into the terrain, or moving past the terrain, but he's going to have to roll a crew check on his driver, or he's going to halt. So he fails that crew check. Roll again to see if you get a calamity. No, he does not, so he can still take his action. T-34 stops touching the terrain, and then he's going to aim for his action at the tank, taking him up to 2 dice when he rolls. That brings us straight onto action phase 2, and it's the Panther going first this time. What movement order are you going for?
I'm going for a halt again.
A halt, he's just standing still. And you've not currently got spotted on this guy, so I'm presuming you're going to go for a spotting order.
Yeah, I'm going to spot him with the commander.
And because you're out of your turret, you can potentially get this for free and get another action. He does get that off, so you're going to load a round. You've got a round loaded in the breach.
No, that was from the last one. That's gone now.
Oh, you've already fired.
So I'm going to try and slam load.
Your order's going to be to slam load. Okay.
Yeah.
So force load, he needs to pass an order check with his gunner. And he does get it. So an AP round slings straight into the breach. Now it's down to the T-34. What order have you given?
So he's going to take a shot and then reverse back behind the building.
Okay, he's gone for a shoot and reverse. So you've aimed at him.
I've aimed
now
at him.
You're certainly shooting through ambush terrain here. So that means you're -1 dice. You're 1 dice on a 5 up here.
Come on, T-34.
He misses. And that's
reverse back
4 inches. Back to so that takes us straight to action phase 3 of turn 2. Panther first again. What are you going for on your order?
I will go for a reverse.
You're going for a reverse?
Yeah, and I will aim, change it to an aim rather than a...
Give the aim order.
Yeah.
Okay, flip that token to an aim. So after reversing about 3 inches, just so he's got a better view of the T-34, he's going for a pivot check for free. And he does pass it, so he can do a pivot. You can do a pivot as an order, or you can, of course, do a turn order if you want to pivot. But with a veteran driver, it's likely you'll get a free pivot. Now it's your turn, JP.
So I'll give the T-34 a reverse to try and break the lock and get into a bit of cover. Allow me some time to reload the gun.
Okay.
And then he will load a special round in.
Yeah, I can't see him.
He's loading his special round. Loader's got it. Not going for the slam fire, just taking your time. Backing up. Can you still see him?
I don't think so from that angle.
True line of sight. No, you've done it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, he's blocked off. So that breaks the lock. He's gone down to spotted. If he doesn't get him into view by next turn, it'll fully break it. To the end of turn 2, the boys can burn action cards and draw up to 5 more if they so wish. Also, it's Will's turn to roll to see how many minutes pass. You going for 1 dice or 2? I reckon you can
Go for 1 dice.
just go in 1. He wants more time to hunt. And he gets 2 minutes pass. We go up to 8. And with that, it is the end of turn 2. The Panthers slam loaded around in and backed up to try and get a better shot at the T-34. But the T-34, in response, with his friend burning away, hey, they may be low caliber, but they're not stupid. They've backed up out of line of sight, and they're taking their time loading another round. But it's not yet in the breach. You've got a special round going in. You're down to normal AP rounds. So with that, gentlemen, JP, you're picking first, aren't you? So it's now. So now it's time to flip for initiative. It is the start of turn 3. So what have you got, JP?
Through the radio, I know I've got the 1.
Nice. You're going first, and you're going second, of course. So what's your movement order?
So I'm just going to bring the tank to a halt, and I'm going to ready the special ammo into the breach.
Nice. Okay. Now, Will, what's your order?
Mine is a go forward.
Okay, he's going forward. And what's your tactical order? Oh, do you want to do a pivot?
Yeah, I'll do a pivot test, yeah.
Okay. See if you can. Yeah, and that veteran driver's really earning his pay. So you'll get a move of up to 7 inches. And because he's activated in time, he doesn't break the lock and have to go back to a spotting. But he's going to have to use his action there to lock onto that tank. So that tank is now aimed at.
And I will play Fog of War.
Okay.
I'm just going to put a smoke screen on my tank because I don't want JP just getting the first shot for nothing.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop the smoke.
Nice, pop smoke. Right, so that's both tanks activated. So you can reflip your movement orders and we'll go to action phase 2. So JP's going for a move order with his second action on the T-34. Already loaded up, haven't you?
Yeah, he's loaded.
You can strafe up this terrain if you want.
Yeah.
What's your close assault dice? 2.
2.
So if you roll 2 dice, and if you get a 6 on either of them with your coaxial machine gun, if you were popped out with your commander, you could use your pintle mounted to get a 3rd dice, but you only get 2 for now. However, he does get a 6, so he just advances up to this bit of terrain, wary of any more Panzerschreck shots. He strafes it up with the coaxial and clears out any pesky Germans inside. The Panther's second action, and your movement is what?
It is halt.
Halt. Okay, and you are, can you currently see him or no from where your cupola is? You certainly can see through there to the front of his tracks a little bit. So, and you're aimed at him as well. So, you're going for a shot?
I'm going for a shot.
Nice, okay. So, it's...
Just roll 1 to 2 to get rid of the smoke.
Yes, you need to roll a 1 to 2 to get rid of the smoke.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll be on 1 dice. -1 for the smoke, -1 for shooting through terrain.
Cocktails, re-roll it.
Okay, so the smoke stays.
It's just 5 up.
Just 1 5 up needed. He gets the hit there. Roll to see the location. 1 to 2 the running gear. 3 to 4. Now 5 to 6 is the turret. Now, if it had been the running gear or the hull, he would get his hull down. But as you keep hitting the turret, you don't get bonuses for hull down against the turret. Okay, so he's over long range, but it's just a normal AP. So it's a pen of 8. What's your front armor on this guy?
9.
A 9. So 1 will glance him. Anything else will pen?
I will play improvised armour.
Improvised armour. So he gets a 5. Play when one of your tanks is hit. Increase your tank's armour value by +2 against this shot.
And then I'll play it again.
Okay, right. I don't think there's anything that I've seen in the rules, although we are new to it. I don't think there's anything that says you can't. So, right, that's +4 to your armour there. when one of your tanks is hit. Yeah, that's, you know, okay, so that's going to be an armor value of, it would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He strapped loads of logs to the front there. 13, you're on a pen of 8 plus 5, also 13. So that is a glance. That means that the most you can do is just a simple damage token. You can't roll to pen. However, but when you get a damage token on the turret, you get to roll another dice. 1 to 2 is nothing. Nothing, no additional effects. However, that is a damage token on the turret. Is that his first damage token?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that brings us straight to action phase 3. JP, do you know what you're doing?
I'm going to give him an advance order, try and take this terrain again now and get hull down against the Panther and then try and aim at him as well.
Ah, right, you're not aimed at him yet.
No. So crew check. No,
Fails. Now, do you get Calamity? No. Okay, so that's no action for you though. Right, now it's your turn, Will. What have you gone for? Gone for a reverse.
Yeah, and I'm going to put a pivot on with a check as well.
Okay, so you reverse out of that smoke and it clears automatically.
No.
However, you fail your crew check. Do you get a Calamity? Yes,
Okay.
you
Oh,
do.
no.
You take damage to the running gear. That smoke's covered up some kind of pothole or some little bit of debris, and he's thrown a track potentially, or at least got some damage to the axles. So with that, it's JP's turn to roll to see how much time has passed. We finished all 3 activations there. So JP, how many dice you rolling?
As many as possible. I think it's T34 to come home.
So we've had 8 minutes. If you get 8 or more, the game ends, and we can rack up experience points.
Well, let's
Upgrade
try
our
and
crew
save
and
this
come
crew.
back. Yeah, so with that, we go up to essentially over 16 minutes. So this initial skirmish between the Soviets and the Germans, they've done a little probing attack. They've sent a couple of T-34s in there. The Germans have lit one up, and now the remaining Soviets are going to skulk away. So we'll be back with explaining the experience points and how things rank up. We also need to roll to see what happens to JP's crew, because they've obviously, some of them might have been wounded or even killed when the tank was knocked out. So first things first, we're going to work out what happens to JP's crew from the tank that was knocked out. Now, because it was destroyed and not just knocked out, 2 different things, he has to roll a dice, and I think they're only fine on a 5 or a 6, right?
They survive on a 3 up.
Okay.
They'd be wounded or fatigued, depending on the role.
So you do it for each crew member. So this is your actual
Veteran.
lead tank.
Yeah.
So your veteran commander,
Let's go.
he's
he's dead.
killed. Right, so you have to replace him with a green.
Okay, the gunner. Oh, he's wounded.
Okay, so we'll have to work that out in a second.
And then the driver.
Driver. Of
Yo,
course,
he gets
despite getting the others killed with his terrible driving,
He escapes through the...
to the driver's hatch. It was the turret that got lit up, to be fair, wasn't it?
No, it was the side.
Was it the
wasn't
side?
I
Okay.
played the card.
Well, he managed to hop out there, so he's fully fine, not even fatigued.
He's still fresh because he was undamaged but going into the fight.
That's cool, right, okay. So with that, we'll work out what happened to your wounded gunner. So it may seem like JP's ended that first clash early, but it is just the first little clash of our overall game today. So we've worked out experience points. JP just gets 1 experience point per crew. The tank itself will be replaced. He just gets 50 points to spend on tanks at the start of the next game. Likewise, Will get the same. Now, Will's scored 2 experience points. 1 for knocking out a tank, 1 for taking part. You can get more than that, but you knock down out a tank that's less valuable than his. So essentially, that's his max there. And JP, 1 each for taking part. Now, you can roll for each crew member that's taken part in at least 1 battle. And they'll upgrade to the next level. Or you can spend 2 experience points to do it for free. You also can spend up to 1 experience point per per tank upgrade, so you can put extra armor on, get like fire extinguishers, stuff like that, better sights, I guess. So with all that being said though, we'll do that at the start of the next game, now that we know where we stand. What do you boys think? First ever game of Achtung Panzer?
Yeah, I like it, mate. It's got a good flow to it, and it's interesting. It's cool with the little ammo tokens and the stages in which you load. And you gotta pick and choose when you're gonna load, because you get caught in the open, can't you? So
yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like the moment where JP sort of dashed forward, popped a shot off, and then reversed, because he knew he had a couple of turns where he had to reload. Reversed, got around in the chamber. I liked how Will's crew could just go for an ores check for a forced load. If JP went for that, it would be on a 4-up and he wouldn't do anything. Whereas, you know, Will can easily do that 4-up, with a 2-up, he can just load a next shell in and it just skips a stage. Another side of things is that light guns, like on a Humber or something like that, they actually always fast load. Yeah. They always fast load, and auto cannons always count as loaded. You don't even need to give a load order, you can just fire every turn. But of course, they've got like 0 pen value, like 1 or 2. So, yeah, I really enjoyed watching that, boys. I thought it was very, very interesting. JP, what are your thoughts? Final?
I need a bigger gun.
So
it's hard. We're trying to push out a Panther with 2 T-34s, but I'll upgrade the crew and see what I can come back with next.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. With just 30 points each, we're playing a low sort of first duel between the commanders here. But that did mean that the crew value that you rolled was more significant. And because Will only took 1 tank, that meant you could take a high caliber overall crew, which meant he got, even if he didn't roll well, he was going to get enough points to spread out. You know, having an inexperienced, untrained crew member in any slot is really bad. If you want to try fast load, it's a 4-up, you don't load anything. If you want to try and get into any terrain or drive through it, you know, 4-up, you know, you need it to be a 3 or a 2, really. You need some training.
There's going to be a lot of tactical play between points cost for the tanks, your crew upgrades out. It's really flexible. You can build your tanks and your crew how you want them to be and spend those points wherever you want them to be.
And with the experience point as well, I think if it was just the crew upgrades, like on the surface, you're like, oh my gosh, like based on 1 dice roll, I could be really on the back foot for the game. But actually, you're going to have a dice roll for that. You're going to have a dice roll for the event cards. You're going to have experience points, which you can spend on extra abilities to upgrade your tanks over the course of an evening. And that all ties together to sort of water down any one disadvantage, like you started off on the back foot there. So, yeah, boys, we'll throw together a couple of 50-point lists. And I think it's that Will won. So what we said is in the second game, I would join in and take command of a tank on the loser's side, just for a bit of fun, so I get to roll some dice too. So it'll be me and JP as the Soviets with 50 points, and Will, he'll get an extra tank probably. So here we are ready to rock and roll with round 2. So we're going to be doing another standard battle this time. Third battle we'll play a different mission, but we just wanted to learn the rules with the first skirmish, so to speak. Now, this time we're going to have 5 tanks. We're going to roll for assets and all of that as we did before. Now, you wouldn't normally add extra points halfway through a campaign. You'd pick a points value and go from there. However, because we've added extra points, we, you know, that's just one little thing to mention. Now, we get a free replacement tank for the knocked out tank. So we've got a regular T-34-76 and an inexperienced T-34-76, although JP will have an experience point which you can spend to upgrade the tank if you want, so we can hold on to it and hopefully upgrade a crew member in the for the third battle. And we will in a second roll for crew upgrades for the tanks that have already participated, so that'll be the Panther and the 2 T-34-76s. However, I'm also adding for 19 points, to take us up to 49 points, and a low caliber T-34-85, which I'm going to control on the Soviet side, just so I get to join in and roll some dice too. Now, Will's added a Hetzer, is it?
Yeah.
The 38T Hetzer tank destroyer, and we'll have to roll for special ammunition and all of that in a second. So that's going to be what, high caliber as well?
Yeah, high caliber. Yeah.
That's a high caliber. So he's going to have his. Now he's also got 2 experience points from the first battle, which he can spend on the Panther alone. This is a fresh tank, so it doesn't have any. And he can either buy a couple of upgrades, or he can upgrade his commander to an ace, which would give him an ace skill, which is things like getting 2 activations once per battle and stuff like that. Different cool stuff. So we will generate, I will generate my skill for my new tank, and Will do the same for his. So T-3485, I'm low caliber, I get a 3, so I think that's 4 stars. I'll have to check. So I've got 4 crew stars, so I'm probably going to go 2 untrained and a trained, 2 green and a trained. Now Will's rolling, he's a high caliber, so he has a bigger bracket. And he gets a 4.
4 gives me 7.
So you've got 7 points, 7 experience points to spend. So he's not going to be all veteran this time. So we're just going to do our pre-game crew advancements going into this second clash. Now, Will has to he still has to roll on the fatigue table, because this crew, they may have eaten too much Panzer chocolate, maybe there's a come down in sight. So roll a dice. On a 1 or a 2, you're going to be fatigued. On any other result, you're fresh. And if you get a 5 or a 6 with your commander, because you've already got 1 point of reputation for winning a battle, if on a 5 or a 6, he'll actually count as being have heroically won that battle, and you'll become an ace, which means you get an ace skill.
Okay.
So commander first.
Yeah.
So he is just fresh.
Then the gunner.
Fresh.
And the driver.
Okay, so he's going to be fatigued going into the next game. Commanders need to roll, considering we're playing a campaign, whether they are men of reputation. So on a 5 or a 6, you'll get to do a rousing speech to one of your crew members at the start of every game to take them from fatigue to fresh, so to amp them up.
On a 5 or a 6?
5 or a 6, you're a man of reputation. You do this once per campaign.
No.
You are not a man of reputation, so unfortunately, who was fatigued?
The driver.
The driver is fatigued, he's tired. Now, we now need to do the experience upgrade. So you're all veteran here, so you can't upgrade any of your crew yet, but you have got experience points that you can spend on tank upgrades. And each crew gets their own upgrades, so you can't spend them on the Hetzer. Next, you have 2 T-3476s, and both of those have been in the battle, but they weren't on the winning side and they didn't knock anything out, so it's 1 experience point each. So you can't spend to upgrade a crew, because that takes 2. You can roll to upgrade a crew. Any green crew members who fought a battle can upgrade to regular on a 3-up. Now, you've got 1 new tank. You've got, these are both tanks you used in the previous battle, so I can't do it for the T-3485, but you can do it for each of your crew members. Now, for Bravo tank, your commander was killed. He's been replaced with a green crew member. He's not fought in a battle yet. Your gunner was wounded, so he's currently got a replacement crew member. He'll be back next turn, so you can roll for him, but he won't get it this time. You'll have a green gunner in the chair. And your driver, he's survived the battle, so he can do it as well. And then you can spend experience points on an upgrade if you so wish, or you can hang on to it, because 2 gets you a free upgrade next game.
So I'll roll for the driver.
Driver. No, 3-up, yeah. So because he's inexperienced, he goes up to trained now. Trained in combat. That's cool.
And then the surviving T-34.
So the one that was totally fine. Yep, so your commander is regular, isn't he? So see if he can upgrade to veteran. That's a 5-up. You get it? So he's a veteran now. That's sweet. Your gunner's inexperienced, and he goes up to veteran to regular, not all the way to veteran, sadly.
Driver.
Needing a 3-up. Yes. So your inexperienced tank now essentially has upgraded. So now you've got a trained driver, a trained gunner, and a veteran commander. Nice. And then your original one, although it started off better, an overall higher medium caliber of crew, because they took so many damage, so many green replacements in there.
Only the driver has some experience.
Hopefully they
left, and he's
scrubbed it
injured.
out beforehand. So, but they've recovered the tank from the battle. Now, in terms of your guys, we've done your experience, so we just need to decide. You guys just need to decide about tank upgrades if you want to spend the points now or hang on to them for the final round because we're having a 3-game campaign.
I'll hold it for the final round.
You're holding yours, so each of your crew both have 1 experience point, and you've got 3 on the Panther.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy an upgrade now?
Yeah, I'll spend 2 experience. I'll get the camouflage net and I'll get the improved sights as well.
Okay, so we'll talk about those in a second. He's not got his ace upgrade yet, but those 2 tank upgrades are quite powerful. So improved sights means he gets to add an extra dice into his pool up to a maximum of 3. So if he has aimed, he would be on 3, but if he's shooting through cover, that would be -1. He'd still be on 3. So if smoke, -1, moving, -1, so on and so forth. Also, if he's spotting, do you have to have aimed?
Do you have to what?
Do you have to have aimed for it to come into effect? Or is it just when you fire?
It's just when you fire.
So he would also get 2 dice just for spotting and firing, which is quite nice as well.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then camo nets means that if we go for a spot check at over half range, we actually have to pass an order check to do so. Never mind getting a free spot for being out of the cupola,
Which the Soviets won't do.
I think I'll probably sort of go against convention and unbutton, just so we've got 1 unbuttoned commander rocking around for a little bit at least. I'll give it a try. If the shrapnel starts bouncing off me, I'll button up. Right, so we've done all of that. Now it is time for our specialist ammunition. So Will gets D6 -2 and we get D6. You're the commander, JP. You roll for us. So we get 6 rounds to a tank. Nice. And you get 5 -2, 3. You've got 3 to split between them. Okay. So once we've done that, it's now time for assets. So we get, because there's 5 tanks, it's D6 +1 each. When you get an ace, you'll get to roll 2 dice on this and pick the highest. So do you want to roll for assets, JP?
Roll for assets.
And it's 4 +1, 5 asset stars. Nice. And Will's on 6 assets. Nice. Okay, so we've got a few more cards to play with outside of the normal event cards. So in this scenario, it's a battle scenario, but we've extended the minutes to 30 minutes. So essentially, the Soviets are pushing in, but they've been given strict instructions that our heavy artillery is going to come in and bombard this position after 30 minutes. They're going to have to pull out. So we'll see what happens. We need to pick initiative and then give our first orders. So we're first. We'll take 1. And we need to pass a radio check.
No.
Is everyone within line of sight of each other? Yes, just about. Okay, so roll an order check. And we are. And you are too. Okay. So our first one, JP, is so I don't know where you want to place that.
We'll place that over here.
Okay. And then Will's taken 1.
I'll let you choose on that one.
Okay.
I get to look at this now.
Yeah, you get to look as well, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Happy with that? Happy with what we've done? Yeah. Okay, so we'll give some orders and then we'll flip initiative. So I'll just pause the camera. Initial movement orders have been placed. Obviously, we can decide tactical as we go. So we'll flip initiative order now. We've got a 5 on our, what designation's this one?
That's Baker.
That's Baker. So he's the quite experienced one now, is he? Oh no.
No, he was the one that got destroyed.
Well, he was a medium caliber,
He's a
but
medium
then
caliber.
2 of his crew members are either wounded or killed, so they've been replaced with green for this battle. We've also got our T-35, 3485 is going first, and
Charlie's going 3rd.
so we're 1, 3, and 5, and he's 2 and 4 for the Panther. Okay, so with us going first, I'll just reveal that I am doing a left turn. So I'm going to pivot him like this, and then I'm going to drive 4 inches forwards. He's moved forward his 4 inches, and now I'm going to give a spot order to the Hetzer, not the Panther. Now, I'm going to try and pass a commander check on a 3-up to do this for free. So I do that for free, and that allows me to also cry out one spotting. I'm going to cry out to the loader to get a special ammunition round ready. Okay, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to go for standard AP. I'm not going to go for a gunner check because I think I'll just better to take my time than risk jamming the gun. Okay, so who's second?
Me.
So do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, so my Hetzer is going to go forward.
Okay.
And then he's going to try and do a cheeky twist at the end. I'm going to try and do a test for it.
Okay, so you're going to try and do a free pivot. And then also, what's your other order going to be? You're going to try and do a free spot as well? Are you unbuttoned?
Yeah, I'm unbuttoned. I'll spot the T30, 485 as well.
Okay, so you're going for a free pivot skill check. Can you Tokyo drift it?
Free up, so he's a regular.
So yes, you can.
Yeah.
So you'll get a free pivot, and then do you get your spot for free afterwards, which means you'll get another action. All that
okay.
as well.
I will slam load a special round for him.
You've got to see if you spot first for free.
Okay, so spot for free.
Yes, you do. And then can you slam load? Can you force load around?
Regular.
And he's regular. So yes, you do. Okay, so the Hetzer has advanced, twisted, spotted the T-34-85 and loaded around into the breach. What have you gone for? Special or AP?
Special.
It's a special round straight in. Okay, our 85 could be in trouble. That's the benefit of a really skilled crew. They can get a lot done. So next up is the Panther. We've just had an activation with Charlie over here. He just advanced and the loader got a special round ready in his hands. And now you need to pass a crew order check in order to advance through that bit of cover there. And he passes that on a 4-up, so you'll get to move 4 inches through here. Now, what are you going to do a order check as well, a spot check?
Yeah, I'm going to do a spot check as well.
Okay.
So, he's going to go, we're trying to do a little swivel at the end, so
okay.
Just going to go like this, and then attempt to turn like this.
So you're going to attempt to turn and attempt to do a free spot. Just turn. Yeah, gets it. Free spot. No. Will finishes his turn by playing an event card, was it? Fog of War, Pop Smoke, so he's harder to hit on the Panther. Now, JP's given an advance order over here, so he's going to try and pass a crew check.
Need a 3 with Baker's driver.
And he passes it. So he's going to advance 4 inches into this ambush terrain, and that automatically clears the ambush terrain. Okay, that's good.
He will spot the Panther.
He's going to spot the Panther. And you're buttoned down, aren't you? So that is your action.
But you do need to roll for the camouflage.
Yes,
over half
Okay, because
range.
we're over half range. Very true. He does get it. That's good. Now, in our opening hand, we got a reinforcements card. So we brought the tank hunters on. And now we're going to activate them just at the end of the turn now. We get to resolve an attack on an enemy tank within 6 inches of an uncleared bit of ambush terrain, this house here. So we've just got some dudes with some Panzerfaust hidden away up front. They've snuck forward in between the two battles. So we get to roll 3 dice needing a 6, but it is a pen of 7. And it'll be on your side. So let's see if we can do this. 3 dice. And we do get a 6. So it's on a pen of 7 on the side of the Panther. We need to roll location first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the hull.
Yeah.
3 or 4 is the hull. And we're going to be pen 7 on your armour side on your hull is, it's only 6. Oh. Okay, so that soft side armour from the Panther means that we have managed to get a pen through. And because we've beaten him by 3, his armour's 6. And that added up to 9 in total. What we're going to do is we're going to roll a dice on a 1, 2 or 3. It's destroyed. The Panther's out of the game. And the Hetzer's on his own. If we don't destroy it, we still get to roll on the additional effects table because we'll have put a damage token on the hull. Right, okay, it's not blown up. You have to roll low for that.
Yeah.
So he's not knocked out. We do get to roll a dice on the additional effects table. 1 to 2 will be nothing. 3 to 4 will be the crew, and 5 to 6 will be the machinery. We've got the crew.
Okay.
So what effect is it going to be on the crew? It's going to be a 4. What's 4, JP? On the crew is going to be a bloody face. The gunner screams as tiny splinters of metal dislodged by a near-penetrating hit showering his face. The gunner loses 2 stars for the remainder of the battle. I hope you enjoyed slam loading, Will, because the last time you're doing it this game, bleeding from the scalp and eyes, Will's gunner goes from veteran down to green. Amazing. But lucky he's not blown up. And a damage token on the hull. Up to the action phase 2, and the T-3485 is going to go first. Very simply, I'm going to dash forwards just to the edge of this cover here. Okay, now that means that I'm going to be hull down against this Hetzer, but because I'm touching this terrain, he's also going to be hull down against me. You have to be pushed through to the other side to get the benefit without giving it away, but I don't want to pass a crew check right now. Not trusting my driver. Now, I am side on, essentially, to that Panther, so I think I'm going to go for a free order check once. I'm going to pick my order check. I'm going to go for a Tokyo spin. And a 5, I do get it. So I'm just going to twist a little bit so both my front armour on is front against both of these tanks. Now, in terms of my tactical action, I've not spotted anyone. I have spotted the Hetzer, so I am going to go up to a... I don't think I'm going to aim. I think I'm going to load my round. I'm going to get it in the breech, ready. Okay, AP ready. What's next? The Hetzer, isn't it? Do you know what have you done?
He's got to aim.
He's aiming.
He's halting.
Halting and aiming. Okay, straightforward enough. Tank 3. JP's gone for a straightforward.
Straightforward.
And are you readying your round?
Yeah, I'm going to put it into the chamber.
Put it into the chamber. Okay. So we've got 2 rounds in the chamber. 1 special, 1 AP. Then it's turn 4. It's the Panther. With the gunner screaming, my eyes. What are you going to do? You're in the smoke.
He's halting.
He's halting.
And he's going to slam fire around. Oh man, he's dead. I don't want to do that with him, do I, really?
I thought you already did that. Didn't you load one in last round? That was the Hetzer.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
Just going to do a normal ready.
Yeah,
Are you going to load a round?
I'll load a special.
Load a special.
Just normal load it.
Just normal load it. Oh, that's a nice relief, that. Great tank hunters. That Panzerfaust did a good job. Okay, so that's number 4. Now it's tank number 5. And you went for a halt?
Yeah, he's just going to aim at the Panther.
Aim at the Panther. Okay.
Unleash a shell because he's...
Well, you can only aim, that's your action.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we've got to go on to... That does take us on to round 3, though.
Oh, so he's going to...
So we'll go to activation round, action round 3 for turn 1, but we'll just have a little pause here whilst we put our orders out. Action phase 3, I aimed with my T-3485, rolled but failed to move into this ambush terrain and clear it. So then it's the Hetzer's turn.
So he's going to halt.
Okay.
And open fire.
So he's opening fire. So your gun is 3 dice because you've aimed at me, but you're shooting through cover, so it's down to 2 dice. Needing a 5. Uh-oh. Ah, yes, he misses with both. Sweet. Right, so now it is the T-34 76 over here.
He's just going to continue the flank.
Okay, just continue pushing up.
Yeah.
9 inches. And he's got a round in the chamber, hasn't he?
Yeah, it does.
Can you see from your cupola there, the edge? Yes, so you can spot him.
I'll spot him.
Now you're locked down, so that is your action, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't do it for free. Right, so then it's tank 4. It's time for the Panther.
So the Panther will halt. And then he's going to load the round.
You're going to ready it into the breach.
Yeah.
Okay, special round is it?
Yeah,
Special round in the breach, Final action of the turn 1. The T-34-76 in this bit of terrain here, he just halts and readies around into the breach finally. Okay, so we'll get rid of event cards, all that kind of thing, and because we're attackers, we'll roll for time elapsed. Do you want to do 1 dice or 2, JP?
What do you fancy?
I think we'll just go for 1. I'm feeling good.
I feel okay.
Yeah. 2 minutes. So we've done initial orders. Now it's time to flip initiative. So the T-34-85, he's 4th. This 76, is he he's Charlie or Bravo? He's
Bravo.
5th.
This guy is a 1.
He's 1st. That's nice, into the side of the Hetzer. And then that puts the he's always 2. Okay, so Soviets first. Now, JP, what order have you gone for here? You've gone for an advance. Gonna go around the corner. T-34-76 Charlie, is it? Dashes round and aims at the rear of the Hetzer there. Going for a shot into the 85.
Yeah.
You've aimed at him, right?
Yeah, that was the first thing I did after I went out.
So it's 2 dice. Needing a 5.
2 dice needing 5.
Got a special
Oh,
round.
wait, no, I get an extra 1 for the improved optics.
Ah, nice.
So back up to 3.
Well, you already aimed, so it was 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Needing a 5. He gets a hit on the front of the T-34-85. The armour, you need to do location now. And it is a 5, which is going to be the turret. Well, the front of the turret is armour 11 there. So that's going to be... you're using specialist ammunition, armour 11. Okay.
So let's roll the d6.
And he has a 6. So that's going to light me up, I think. That's more than 4 over the limit. So you've lit him up. Now roll the dice to see if you actually brew him up.
Oh, sorry.
You need a 5 or a 6. It's a 1, so no. But that is this tank destroyed, just knocked out by the Panther. That Pen 11 is absolutely devastating. Just as we had a round in the breach and aimed, ready to go. I was going for trying to pass an order check on a pivot. Fails it and ends his turn. You need to do a calamity. No, you don't need a calamity on that one. So you can't do the swing, but you've got a reverse there, but you're blocked off. So you're just going to be stuck, basically. T-34-85 slowly catching fire. It's time for the 76 to try and avenge him. He's aimed. He's readied his round into the breach. Now it's time to loose one off. Come on, JP. Needing a 5. It's just 2 dice, right?
2 dice, yeah.
Yes, he gets the hit. Okay, so it's into the front armour. You need to do location. He's not hold down on you. He's got the turret. Turret on a Panther is going to be 13 on the front. Whoa. And you've got a pen value of, you're probably over long range there, so 5 with this special ammunition. Come on, lad. It's a nothing. Just that darn Panther is just lighting us up. He's got our 85 dead. Right, you really need to get this done next turn. So with that, it's the end of the first action phase of turn 2. We're going to just give ourselves some movement orders and we'll be back. Activation of phase 2. Just halting, right?
Halting.
And firing, and he's just twisting that turret, which you can do as part of a halt for free, and shooting into the back arc of the Hetzer. So you've got 2 dice, you've aimed, right?
I've aimed, I've spotted, I've loaded.
You're not moving.
Not moving.
2 dice and a 5. Come on, JP. No! Okay. First round skims over the top of the Hetzer. Now we are doing something else before Will gets his next activation. We're playing one of our cards because we got our reinforcement event. We're playing Close Assault Cellar Rats. Now this is an interesting one because it allows you to do an attack. Vengeful Red Army soldiers emerge from hiding to take the enemy unawares, and you can do it from an already cleared bit of terrain. So it's 2 dice, needing a 6 to hit. There's no pen, but if we get another damage token in him, we'll be 1 away. We could, if we get 2 on the hull as well. Come on, we knock him out. Come on, 6. Yes! Come on, you assault. Right, okay, so It's on his side again. The side of the Panther is just a 6. Well, we need to do location, don't we? So, could be his running gear, you never know. So it is the turret this time. Armour 6. We've got no pen here. We need a 6 to glance him. No, we used them all up, sadly.
Captain's out the hatch, though.
His captain is out the hatch, but I don't think that counts. It's not HE or anything, sadly. It's just a bunch of conscripts swarm out, start throwing petrol bombs, but to no avail, sadly. Close. Next is the Panther. He's going to halt. He's going to try and do a free spot order with his commander on the 76. 3476.
Yeah.
Gets it. And he's going to try and slam load around with his inexperience, with his blinded gunner. Can't see what he's doing well. It's risky.
So what's this on?
4. He gets it. He's so well trained, doesn't he? He can do it with his eyes closed, bro. Quite literally. Right, okay, so he's readied, what is it? Another special ammo round. Oh my golly gosh, we're in trouble here. Right, okay. So it's activation 4-3 now. That's the Hetzer. He's going for another reverse, but you're going for a pivot.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going for just a pivot action, or are you going for a chance a free one?
A free one.
Chance a free one. Okay, he gets it. So he can pivot and reverse 4. He's not spotted this guy though yet. No, he's got his gun on the front arc at least. And then you've got an action.
And then an action.
You want to load a round? Have you got a round ready?
No, not yet. So I'll try and slam load around with him.
Okay.
Okay, AP.
No. Okay, do you get Calamity? No. Activation of action phase 2. You're advancing. You need an order check.
Yeah.
Because of the ambush terrain. He fails. However, you were going for a slam load first, you declared. Right, okay. So do your slam load. Well, that's good at least. What's his veterancy?
Gunner passes.
He's a gunner, he's trained, so he passes on a 3-up. So you did get the round in, you did say that. Action phase 3 is a quick one. JP decided to try and drive forward, but he needs to do a little twist first. He failed the driver skill check. Fortunately, though, he did do a slam load. Forced load is what it's called in the rulebook, and to get his second specialist round.
No, AP for this.
Oh, you just went AP. You're saving your final special round for the Panther if you can survive this duel. But because he failed to do the twist, he couldn't move. The Hetzer then backed up, and Will just now needs to do a forced load check on the Hetzer gunner, who is trained, so it's a 3-up. He does pass it on a 5.
Yeah.
So that's what round you putting in?
We gave him a dice try and he still misses.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, that should be your AP. That's already gone, isn't it?
Oh, you've already fired your AP. Okay, cool. The final activation is the 76 over here now. He's already got a round in the chamber, but he can't both move and shoot through cover because that would knock him down to a snap fire. So he's halting. He's going to fire at long range at the Panther. He gets the hit on a 6. And nice, it's special ammunition.
It is loaded in, yes.
Special ammo loaded in. It's a 5. Okay. You need to do your hit location. Please get the hull or running gear here. He gets the hull. It's a 12. I don't think you can do anything beyond a damage.
You'll see.
Just can't do it. Yeah. His armor's so thick. No. Just bounces off. Once again, that's his second. That's a specialist round bouncing off 2 in a row. Okay, well, we're down to normal AP. You're going to have to get around his side here. Turn 3, action phase 1, and it's the Panther first, followed by the T-36, 34 over here, then the Hetzer, finally the T-34 over far away in the corner. Now, the Panther's gone for a halt manoeuvre, and he's already aimed at this 3476. He slammed around into the breach last time with a crew check, so skill check. So now he just needs to fire. So it's 3 dice because of the optics, even though he's shooting through cover. Gulp.
Yeah.
He's got the hit on a 6. So the pen value
11.
It's a special round, oh my gosh. Pen value 11, so you need to do the location. It is the hull. Okay, so he's getting over that. Essentially, when he rolls location, he has to beat the hull down check, otherwise it misses, it slams into the terrain. So he's getting over the hull, he keeps hitting high enough, rolling high. Yeah. And then, so now you need to roll to
pen him.
Yeah. To 5 plus 11, 16 on versus 9. He's lit him up. Oh my gosh. He's just slamming rounds in and lighting these T-34s up. It's 1 versus 2 now. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. So you need to roll on a 5 or a 6 here. And no, so he doesn't burn. He's not brewing them up, but he is destroying them. We're straight into another shot. This time the T-34's advancing forward. He's going to fire 1 dice into the side of the Hetzer, needing a 5. Come on, JP, you need this.
Oh,
no, he's got it. Yes. Okay, right. So, is it a specialist round?
It's just an AP.
It's just an AP round fired. So we'll put that back into the ammunition rack, and then his. You're hitting him in the side. Your penetration value at close range is 5. And his side armour is... We need to do a location check first. He hasn't got a turret.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be in the running gear. So his armour's a 2. And 5, 2, 6, 7. So although it was a pen of more than 4, running gear hits, you can't be knocked out from them in one shot. So he just takes a damage token there, but if he takes 2, he'll be crippled, and obviously 3 damage tokens and he's knocked out. End of action phase 1, Will decides to pop a tank hunters. However, JP had that was close in his hand, which cancels an asset or event card. So essentially the Hetzer's just backed up, pivoted a little bit, and he's aiming now at the 34. 34 is obviously no round in the breach that the Hetzer does. So we've made a mistake, guys. We need to just rectify super quick. Because Will got hit whilst his Panther commander was unbuttoned, so to speak, by this tank. Although he didn't do any damage, he still needs to do a button up check. So because he's forced to button up, he has to roll on the table, and we'll see what he gets. So he gets a 2. What does that do, JP?
Yeah, close call, commander bravely remains unbuttoned.
So it stays as it in phase 2. The Panther's going for hopefully a free spot check. He gets that, so he's spotted the T-34 here. He's then going to try and do another skill check, this time with the driver, to reverse into that rubble. This time, you've got a veteran, yep, so he's absolutely fine. Only failing on a 1. So he's going to reverse into this rubble. Pivot his gun, but you've no round in the breach yet. So you've passed both checks, right? So now you can either order the loader to get a round ready, or you can try and force a round in for an order check.
Yeah, I'll do the order check. I know it's
okay. So it's a 4 up because he is bleeding from the eyes. Does he get it? No. So this time, no. Now you need to roll to see if you get a calamity on a 1. He does get a calamity on a 1 there. We're kind of learning tactics as we go here. You may as well almost always try and force a round in, because the worst that can happen is you just load it anyway and put it in the load box. So Will's because he did get a calamity, it remains in the ammo rack. He's got no round ready. Now it's the T-34's turn. You've no round in the chamber, have you?
No.
So you're playing an event card.
I've give him the turn action, and I'm playing the event card to force load 1 in.
Okay, so you get an auto force load without having to roll any skill checks.
Onto the breach.
Under the breach. Hetzer's going for a reverse order backwards 4 inches. And now he's got a round in the chamber, he's aimed, he's ready to fire. You said you wanted to risk a pivot, are you going to do that, or? Straight on the side there, that's it where you are.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so needing, what's your aimed, you're on 3 dice. Needing a 5.
He's moved 2 dice.
2 dice.
2 dice, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
he
he's
gets
popped
the
all of
hit.
them.
So Hetzer round is penetration 8. You need to do a location check. He's got you in the side of the turret there, JP.
It would be the.
That's going to be a 7 versus 8.
Would it be the front of the turret?
Ah, yes, it's the front of the turret. That's very interesting. So front of the turret's a 9. He gets a 6. Oh no. So that's
I'm not
more
letting
than
them roll
4
my
for
dice.
sure. So he's lit the final Soviet tank up with that Hetzer. Wow. Okay, so that's the end of that game right then and there. If at any point one player has no tanks, the game automatically ends. So the Germans have just, with their skilled crew, just sequentially loaded rounds in, fired, and loaded rounds in, fired. Getting those rounds in the chamber quick is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure. This was interesting here with them not really shooting through any cover, just moving and firing. Panther just dominating. We kind of didn't realise until a couple of actions in that we weren't going to fire through the front armour of him. Okay, so what were your thoughts, boys, at the end of that game?
Let's try and bring in a bigger tank.
So we'll still get XP. Will has to roll here to see if he brews us up. So roll the dice to see if he brews us up or if we're just knocked out. And yes, that tank does brew up. That makes it much more likely that the crew are going to be killed. Which would give us green crew for the 3rd round. Okay, so things are getting spicy. Will, what are you thinking? You remembering the Germans?
You've just got to keep the front armour on because GP's just tried to get around me twice. And the side armour on these tanks is real. But you can keep the front armour 11 on them. They can't really do anything about you, can they? So
It's tough being the attacker at the moment.
yeah.
Let's bring in a bigger barrel and a bigger tank.
You want your IS-2 on?
I want my
You just got to roll hot, haven't you?
You've been rolling a lot of hard dice, to be fair. It's very interesting. I'm certainly enjoying watching it. I had a small contribution, but you didn't leave me too long before I got knocked out there, Will. So we'll work out some experience points. We'll level up some crews. We'll bring in some reinforcements. And we'll be back for the final battle of this campaign. Round 3. And this time, Will gets to pick a different mission in the book. One of his choice, because he won. So I think we'll call that a wrap for today, guys. Make sure that you comment down below. Let us know what you think of Achtung Panzer. We're really, really enjoying it. It's very dynamic, isn't it?
It's a really good game.
Well, are you enjoying it, Will?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, yeah.
Very, very fun, very fast. So we'll be back with the 3rd round of the campaign shortly.
Yeah.
Make sure that you like the video, it really helps the channel out. And subscribe if you haven't already, because we're going to be putting out a whole series of Achtung Panzer videos over the next couple of weeks. Don't worry, you'll still have your weekly bolt action battle reports on Sundays. We'd never break that tradition, but Tuesday's going to be Achtung Panzer for a couple of weeks. Let's say that for now. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining. This has been the Schola Progenium. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.